All right. After all the time waiting and building it up, you guys have probably been wondering why on earth I've been covering these weird, obscure supervillains. And, well, here it is. Here is the answer. The X-Men, number 22. Gosh, how do I explain this? This is quite a story. In fact, this is a two-parter. It takes both issues, issue 22 and 23, to tell this incredible story. And this is a story featuring a mafia, well, not mafia, it's a magia villain. Magia villain, Count Nefaria. Gangway, here comes a startling stampede of yesterday's most sensational supervillains. What does he mean by that? Well, here we go. Check this out. Look. All 5 of those supervillains appear in one issue, commanded by Count Nefaria, and they go up against the original 5 members of the X-Men. So when I found this book, I was like, my God, I took one look and I absolutely fell in love. Never have I seen so much campy, so much cheesy, so much incredible, colorful superhero action in one book. And I knew we had to go back and we had to explore the entire thing. And where did that lead us? That led us here to Count Nefaria. Now, specifically Count Nefaria, this is not his origin story. He was established as an Avengers villain. So, but basically, he's a hyper wealthy leader of the Magia. And for those who don't know, the Magia is essentially the Marvel Universe version of the Mafia. It's an ancient Italian family that is just like devoted hundreds of years to organized crime, and so they're very wealthy, very powerful, and he is one of the heads of the family. I think his name is like Luciano Nefaria or Lucino Nefaria or something like that. But anyway, that's his backstory. That's who he is. And in this issue, he is going to bring together his own team of supervillains. Divided we fall. His own team of supervillains from the cadre of supervillains that we've been exploring all up until this point. So before we get started, I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys don't know who these fellas are, we have Plant Man up there in the tree, the Scarecrow, Porcupine, the Dastardly Eel, and the Unicorn. And if you guys don't know who they are, go back and watch those videos because, well, you're not going to be lost, but it makes context. You know, it creates context. Anyway, no more bullshit from me. We've got 40 pages of intense superhero action to get through. Let's get started. Let's see. Okay, the X-Men, the most unusual fighting team of all time in Divided We Fall. Now, the scene, the fantastic Danger Room in X-Men HQ, where the world's most unique superhero team have spent countless grueling hours developing to the peak of their fighting prowess. But now, as they enter the familiar chamber, the miraculous mutants find themselves confronting a new and awesome sight. Oh my god, check this out. I already know what this is. Check it out. That apparition is huge. We are all dwarfed by its mere shadow. It's a robot, but more enormous and powerful looking than any we've ever faced. That is correct, Angel. Since 2 of your most crucial missions of late have involved robot menaces, I have devised this ultimate test to see what you have learned. Therefore, meet Colosso. Keep in mind, he said Colosso, not Colossus. Colossus wouldn't appear for another 10 years. Yipes! Couldn't you just give us a written quiz for a change, Professor? He looks as mean as the Sentinels and Lucifer's Ultra Android rolled into one. References to other comic books. Hopefully we will cover those at some point. I really like the X-Men. They're really cool. Special place in my heart for them. Get with it, Bobby. We've licked robots before and we'll give this one the same treatment. Now look at this guy. Colosso, a most appropriate appellation indeed. He makes King Kong look like an organ grinder monkey. Since Stan is on vacation, now let's see how a swinging staff handles a yarn all by their lonesome. Okay, Editor Emeritus Stan Lee. Okay, who wrote it? Roy Thomas wrote it. J. Gavin drew it. Dick Ayers inked. And Artie Simic did the lettering. And then Colosso apparently Apparently, Colosso, the robot featured in this comic, was given to them by Irving Forbush Robotics Incorporated. I'm like 90% sure that's a joke, but I'm not gonna do the research to figure it out. Look at this freaking thing. Look at this guy. The next moment, the dramatic tableau is shattered by the massive metal figure strides ominously forward. Okay, Psych, let the professor leaving us on our own, so you'd better make with the deputy leader bit, and fast. You can't fight an enemy until you know something about him. So the first thing we've got to do is find out what the robot's powers are. Okay, so I'm assuming he's very strong. I'm gonna make that bet. I'm gonna put some money on the table. Colosso is pretty tough. Great thinking, pal, but what'll Colosso be doing in the meantime? He's gonna be beating your ass. Oh, those strange multicolored lights, they have an almost hypnotic effect. Ah, you're entirely beneficent. You're entirely beneficent, sir. Alright, X-Men, you have 5 minutes to defeat the Colosso. The timed period begins now. Well, somebody has to get the old ball rolling, and it might as well be me. Wait, you're flying directly at the android. You're gonna get punched, you idiot. Fly an evasion course, and be careful not to be dazed by those flashing lights. Did somebody say flashing lights? Yeah, look at that. Relax, worry warts. With my speed, I can fly circles around him. No, you can't. Yeah, he's done. He's done for. I'm paralyzed. Don't worry, Warren. I'll stop you telekinetically. That's his main power. Just another crummy blast ray. The sheet of solid ice on the floor around him will put the skids on that overgrown trash can. If it worked on the Sentinels, it ought to work on Colosso. Let's see. I bet it's not gonna work. Good work, Iceman. But he isn't moving now, and I have enough mental energy to push him over. Well, at least Bobby stopped him long enough for me to recover. He can't advance without falling. However, what they didn't realize is that he has heat jets from his legs melting the ice. A pushover this character isn't. No, he isn't. Colosso. Colosso, the most dangerous robot the X-Men have ever faced. A most astute deduction, my frostbitten friend. Then, the most powerful and most tragic of the mutant band steps to the fore. Powerful? Really? I always thought Cyclops' abilities came more from his keen tactical mind than anything else. Out of the way, all of you. I'm unleashing my power beam. Don't you get it? If I can damage a vital spot, then the rest of you will be able to finish him off. The only time I'm not a menace to society is when I'm combating one. It's a weird thing to be thinking, Cyclops. He has inner turmoil, is what they're trying to say. Careful with those beady little eyes of yours, Psych. You've almost pulverized the noble beast. The robot's made of material that repels my beam. I should have guessed. How? Because your beam is made of concussive force. How? That would be like saying I repelled a punch. Doesn't make any sense. Things aren't exactly looking up. If Psych's I-beams can't stop Colosso, then what can? And yet, the professor's tests are always capable of solution. There must be a way. Ah, but do not despair, lads. Relief is a second away. But first, it behooves me to get behind my potent prey. God, I love the way Beast talks. I love it. I love it. That's another one I want to cover. The Bronze Age Beast solo run. I want to read that. It looks cool. I like the way they drew him and then the icon they gave him. It's neat. Careful, Hank. It'll take more than raw strength to defeat the robot. Fear not, female. Have I not always held that violence is the last refuge of the incompetent? I mean, I gotta agree with you, Beast. I merely wish to throw it off balance so that Scott can have another go. But I couldn't have seen me. It ducked. How infuriating. Yes, it has eyes on the back of its head, man. But it couldn't have seen me unless the professor is guiding it from below. No, Hank. I am only supplying it with the power. The answer to your question lies elsewhere. Then, the momentarily stymied X-Men regroup on the floor as we've struck out, acting separately. It's time to show what teamwork can do. Yeah, when it comes to the X-Men, that's always the answer. Teamwork makes the dream work. And the X-Men, they got big dreams. Sure, that must be it. The same way we managed to defeat our previous robot opponents. But first, we've got to find his weaknesses. Yes, I'm with you, Psych, but we'd better hurry. Our 5 minutes are almost over. Tempest Figgets indeed. Fuggets? Fudgets? Fucking Italians. Nah, that's probably Latin. Oh no, don't look now, but it would appear that Colosso is getting restless. And he looks mad. The professor must have equipped him with a temper. Uh-oh. We can worry about that in a second. I must be getting smarter, Deputy Leader. Oh, you idiots, you foolish, beautiful idiots. I hope I can levitate myself to safety fast enough to elude the robot. Oh, that's cool, so she can fly. Even this early in the series, she was developing her telekinetic powers. That's kind of neat. Pardon if I seem unchivalrous, but gangway. Oh, and look, he has his ice slide. That's neat. That's what I like about the X-Men comics. It's the colorful nature of them. The Marvel's sense of diversity is at its strongest here, but it doesn't come off as overly preachy. It's neat. I like it. We can't win this fight by running away. We've got to make a stand and fast. It's no use. You and I are too slow, Scott. Colosso can use us as shields until the 5 minutes. Oh, look at that. You idiots. How did you get captured? How? Perhaps. But did you see how the light on its head glowed more brightly as we reached out for us? That may be just the clue we need. Gene, the professor's blanket. Have it come to us at once. Oh, you're gonna rob a paraplegic of his freaking blanket? For shame. Yes, just do as I say. There's no time for explanations. Ah, yes, Scott has figured it out. You see, it's his tactical brain. That's what makes him the best X-Man. Scott has figured out the secret of the robot's sensory powers. Once again, he's proven himself a resourceful leader. But the battle is not yet won. So what? So you're just gonna cover his eyes? That's your thing? Excellent, Gene. You've brought the blanket to us in record time. Now let it fall over the head. Okay. Okay, tell the truth. I don't see how that's gonna help. I don't either. We'll know in a moment. He's dropping us. You were right. What did the blanket do? I guess that the flashing lights were the source of his seeing. Oh, so his eyes, basically. Tactical genius. Okay. Seeing from the beast's attack from behind, so we blocked them. We'll hit the floor hard, so watch yourself. Don't be melodramatic, you little idiots. Come on, just smash him. You know what? Wolverine would have handled this shit. Wolverine would have handled this shit pretty fast. As for Jean, you seem to have forgotten her telekinetic powers, which freed you in the first place. And even as Cyclops and Marvel Girl reach the ground safely, Beast ties it into a knot, and then a concentrated ice barrage will slow down his attempts to free himself. Keep it up, Ice Individual. As long as his head is covered, he can't operate properly. That's why he's dropped Jean and me. Well done, my quick frozen computer. Now the agile beast can take his leave. Okay. Yeah, we see that. Okay. Wouldn't you know it? He has more heat jets in his head and they're melting the ice. What? Not only that, but we have only seconds left before our time is over, and we'll have lost our fight with the robot. Well then, it's time for the Super Deluxe X-Men special treatment. I'll keep pouring ice while I add my mental powers to the physical ones of Angel and the Beast. They need to, with the present perplexed perceptions, we may be able to do just that. It's working and he is starting to wobble. Okay, fine. And then, kabloom, you did it. You defeated the Colosso, I'm assuming. I mean, he's on his back. Can't he just get up? Can't he just... And that, of course, was the point of your bout with the robot alone. Your powers of each of you are formidable enough, but together you are invincible. However, don't plan to rest on your laurels. I'll improve Colosso, and one day you may face him again. In the meantime, since your last vacation was interrupted by the battle with the Mimic, I'll dismiss you all for 2 weeks holiday. If an emergency arises, I'll contact you mentally. Yay! We're going on vacation! What a chance to visit my sister in Albany. Wait, So they know about her sister already? They know about... That's... Wow. No, because her sister didn't appear yet. This is only issue 22 of their original series. They didn't know about her sister. Did you just hear what I heard, Beastie? Yes, I did, Bobby Boy, and I'm relatively certain that they're related for similar reasons. Say, Gene, how about dinner in Manhattan before your train leaves? Why, I would love to, Warren, if it wouldn't be a bother. Okay, so Warren Worthington. Warren Worthington is rich as fuck. But isn't Iceman supposed to be the suave one? Bother, bite your tongue, gal. I propose, lad, that we too embark for Greenwich Village post-haste. I love saying that. That's something I say all the time when I'm talking to like customer service people. I would like a hamburger, sir, post-haste. They don't like it. Only Cyclops remains defensive, Grim. I'm becoming extremely worried about him. Nah, it's cool. Cyclops is, he is what he is, He's fine. In almost less time than it takes to recount, the 5 fabulous teenagers are leaving for varying destinations. Jean and Warren make a lovely couple. I envy him more than I can ever dare reveal. He looks like, with the glasses on, he looks like Daredevil. Scott, why don't you dine with us? We'd love to have you, wouldn't we, Warren? Yeah, I don't know, fuck him. he's like, no. Thanks, I think I will. Cyclops, you bastard. Come on, you know you don't. Come on. I know Angel doesn't really want me along, but I can't resist the temptation to spend even a few more minutes near the one I love. And thus the X-Men depart, little dreaming that they would leave behind them an anguished mind, a soil in torment. They can walk in the sunshine, feel the wind striking their faces, while I am confined to this wheelchair, a hopeless cripple. There is no chance for me. Will I ever walk again? I can't accept that fate. I can't. You can go outside. You can see the sun. I'm assuming wheels. I mean, come on. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not crippled, so I don't know how bad that feels. But I'm like, look at him. He can wheel himself somewhere. Anyway, here we are. Count Nefaria, the leader of the mafia. I mean, the Magia, whatever. And look at in his classic supervillain lair with all the unknown and probably worthless machinery. But even as Professor Xavier struggles desperately against despair, a quite different scene is being enacted some distance away in a secret fortification not far from the nation's capital. Wait, I think I remember, because I always do a little research before I read these things. I think I remember what his plan is, and it's a good one. It's a pretty good one. Gotta wet my whistle. At last, all is in readiness. I, Count Nefaria, am prepared to strike, for I have gathered together the remnants of my once powerful Magia gang, as well as 5 supervillains as my lieutenants. It's about time, too. He's been out of circulation since suspense number 68. Interesting. Yeah, I might do a video on like the origins of Magia and Count Nefaria and how he... It's kind of an interesting story, especially when he fights the Avengers. That was a pretty good one I saw. Too long have I felt the humiliating sting of my defeat at the hands of Iron Man. Now, in this wealthiest of nations, I shall make Count Nefaria a name to be feared, and in so doing, I shall achieve ends the world does not suspect. Yes, but he's interesting because he is very much like Count Nefaria in the grand scheme of things. You realize he's very much like a Kingpin type character, especially now, because this is before Kingpin shows up. He technically predates the Kingpin, if I'm correct. So he is the guy who's like, he is the Magia leader. God, Anyway, he is this crime leader who's always bringing supervillains together, always getting henchmen and hitmen, and always going after tangoing with tons of supervillains, in the same way that Kingpin fights Daredevil and Punisher and Spider-Man. Yeah, Nefaria has an interesting history because he's fought like everybody. He's fought every member of the Avengers. He's been in countless comics. It's really interesting. It really is. That's what inspired me to do this, you know? All these D-list supervillains, he brings them together, and it's like, holy cow. When they come together, all those like loser supervillains, they actually give the X-Men a run for their money, as you're about to see. However, there is still one element missing from my plans, and this recent newspaper has provided me with the means of supplying that element. The X-Men, outcasts of society with powers beyond imagining. They must and shall become my allies. Meanwhile, not long afterward, in the weird and wacky section of New York City known as Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village, is that like the hippie section? I mean, it looks like they're surrounded by beatniks here. Look alive, Hank. There's Zelda, and she's on time for a change. Hey, Zelda. The Legend of Zelda. Your enthusiasm is admirable, my fresh, frozen friend, but I don't seem to behold the object of my affections about. Cheer up, chum. Remember we was working at the library when we called? It may take her a little while to get here. Greetings, girl of my life. How's about a movie to watch while we wait the hours? Okay. Do I buy the tickets, or will you splurge and take me Dutch treat? Dutch treat. Interesting. Interesting use of language. Still, you're sort of cool in your own nutty way. Oh, if only she knew. Hey, I think I see her now. Oh! Is this gonna be bad? Salutations, beauteous one. Your punctuality shall be rewarded by an excursion to the local cinema, followed by a luxurious malted. What's your reaction to that gorgeous message, Vera? A malted, is that a milkshake? I'd say you better get your goggles fixed, man. The name is Waldo, not Vera. Oh, where's Waldo? You found him, Beast. You found Waldo. It's getting so rock and roll singers got no privacy anymore. Is he a rock and roll singer? Is that somebody famous? Waldo? Where's Waldo? He's an X-Men, goddammit. Oh, son. Sorry, son. I thought you were someone I knew. Ah, the long-suffering Beast has done it again. That's your fault, Beast. You come on. As the offended passerby strides angrily away. Well, Mr. McCoy, if you're quite finished making a fool of yourself. Oh, yes. Hello, Vera. Not quite, I mean. Never mind, I was perfectly natural mistake. Yes, mistaking a rock and roll singer for a girl. Oh my god. I don't know. I know there's not that many ladies in watching my channel, but it's like, would you be offended if somebody mistook you for a man or mistook a man for you? Oh. Well, gals, we've got just enough time to catch a show before dinner. What'll it be, Goldfinger or Thunderball? Did those come out at the same time? I don't think so. Probably not. Oh, let's make it Thunderball. I've only seen that one 4 times. That's a good one. I like Goldfinger. I like Ulrich Goldfinger. He's crazy. Tell me, Henry, what do you mean? I want you to die, Bond. It's good stuff. Tell me, Henry, what do you do at that private school you go to? Well, a lot of flips and shit. I beat up a robot this morning. I don't know. Mostly, I guess I hang around by my feet. Honestly, so you're the Beast, is what you're saying? Yes, that's what you're saying. Then, as late afternoon fades into darkness, our scene switches to a fashionable uptown restaurant. Yes, the filet mignon was delicious, Warren. Thank you very much. My pleasure, Jeannie. I'm glad you and Scott, of course, could join me. She likes Scott. He's the one that gives her a telekinetic, I don't know. I feel bad. It's like, Warren, look, I can see 100 years into the future. They're gonna go through some shit together. You don't have a chance. I'm sorry. Like, save your money, bro. She doesn't love you. Still, Warren, I wish you'd let me pay for my own meal. I don't like to impose. Nonsense. We'll have no more of that kind of talk. I'm very generous. He's trying to look generous. He's trying to look generous to, you know, I guess chicks dig that or something. I wouldn't know. I have no fucking idea. Well, I suppose we'd best be going. Let me help you with your coat, Jean. Thank you again, kind sir. Oh, can we drop you anywhere, Scotty? No! Fuck that. I'm meeting some people near here, and I'm late now, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Alright. Minutes afterward, as the happy Warren Worthington III drives towards Grand Central Station. Okay, Jean is so quiet, so pensive. Maybe she's finally to feel about me the way I do about her. Oh, Scott. Oh, Scott. I love the way you shoot beams from your eyes. Yes, Warren is a wonderful guy. You're a wonderful man, and you're going to pay for her dates, and you're going to treat her like a queen because you desperately want her to be yours, but she just doesn't love you, Warren. She just doesn't, bro. And then Scott's like, she don't like me. Meanwhile, to complete our confusing little triangle, let's pick up Scott Summers some blocks away. Why must I, of all the X-Men, be the only one whose mutant powers make him a potential threat to all whom he meets? Well, here's Central Park. Maybe a walk through it'll make me feel better somehow. Yeah, lies. No, bullshit. No, fuck that. What do you mean? You have laser vision. You're not a threat. What? I mean, what? You think Bobby Drake isn't gonna freaking accidentally freeze you during you sleep? Like, it's not that bad, man. Come on. But that's another thing guys do. They like beat themselves up so that they don't, they don't have to like live up to their own emotion. I don't know. It's complicated. I'm not really meeting anyone. I've just checked into a nearby hotel for 2 weeks. But why stay at the X Mansion, dude? Who cares, dude? Nobody's judging you. But I knew Warren wanted to be alone with Jean. That figure levitating over the trees. It's Marvel Girl, but what's she doing here? Like, is that really her? I don't think so. It's an illusion. She's vanished. Or did I only imagine her? My eyes have always been a curse to me. They're starting to play tricks on me as well. Meanwhile, in the mammoth structure, which is Grand Central Station. A special bulletin. One of the mysterious X-Men has been seen flying in the vicinity of Central Park. This would have to happen when the Mets were only 5 runs behind. Yeah, whatever. A flying X-Man. Okay, Warren and I can fly, and he just left me. Oh, she's right. All right, so it's an illusion then. All right, let's see. Her feminine curiosity fully aroused. That was the word I was looking for, aroused. Anyway, Jean Grey hails a cab. Look, lady, it's none of my business, but this ain't no place for you, especially with them X-Men around. You fool, she is an X-Man. Duh. Thank you, but rest assured I can take care of myself. And if Angel did fly here after dropping me off, I'll soon locate him and find out what's wrong. But if it's an imposter, he's in for it. Okay, so yet everything is so hushed, so tranquil, yet why do I have this nameless feeling of dread? Jesus, almost 30 minutes into this reading, and finally the supervillains appear. Trees grabbing at me. The figure in the shadows, his strange weapon must be activating the trees, but who? You don't know him? You don't know? Do you not know of me, Marvel Girl? But soon the world will remember the name of the Plant Man and cringe at its merest mention. Yeah, we're cringing, all right. You crazy man, we're cringing, let me tell you. And now, my fair lady, my chloroform gas will take care of you. Oh, last seen in Strange Tales number 121. That is not the one we read. We read number 112 or 113. But yeah, if you would like an explanation as to how Plant Man ended up with this costume, you won't find one in Strange Tales 121. But I'm going to read it anyway, because this is not the end of the crime wave. You guys, I'm giving you a little sneak peek right now. This is not the end of the crime wave. Like, just know, there's more to come. And a short distance away. All right, Cyclops, you need to save the woman you love, all right? She loves you. That's it. First, I see Marvel Girl, then I don't, and now I'm here certain I heard her cry. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's time Cyclops did some investigating. If that was Jean, then what happened to Warren? Then, speak of the devil, there's the Angel. Where is he? Angel! You flying son of a bitch. Wait, is it really him or no? And in the case, there is a mixed up Marvelite left who doesn't realize the X-Men are being deceived by images. We switch our swinging scene again. But who's making the images? Because None of these villains can do it. Maybe the eel has some sort of a gadget, but none of those villains have the power to pull that off. It's definitely not Plant Man. Though Plant Man in Central Park, I mean, that's like we learned in Strange Tales, that's where he is at his most powerful. Central Park. But what would any of the gang be doing there? There's something fishy about this. I wonder, could it be Unis or the Blob? They're still on the loose and nursing an old grudge against the X-Men. The parking lot attendant is too engrossed in the ball game. Okay, so this is the real one. I'm lucky that the Mets are only 6 runs behind. And then there, yeah, oh no, there's 2 of them. Look, there's 2 angels. His powerful wings propelling him across town, the winged mutant swiftly reaches his destination. That form, it's someone impersonating me. Whoever it is, he must be superpowered himself. But I am closing in. However, he's gone, if he was ever there in the first place. But I see another form near those trees. Allow me to introduce myself, Angel. Men call me the Scarecrow. Okay, see, it's happening. They're assembling like an evil bootleg version of the Avengers. Mister, I never heard of you. But if you're responsible for that phony version of me, yes. You have, though, if you were around way back in Suspense number 51. And we did read that. Then, out of nowhere, the crows! Oh my god, he got him with the crows, dude. The crows. The freaking crows. That will never not be funny. They're pulling me tight. Oh, it's a net. Oh, you idiot. Angel, rush in where fools fear to tread. A coin to cliche. Laugh while you can, mister. This thing won't hold me for long. Angel, hey, look. Angel, let me tell you about these crows, bro. These crows took on Iron Man, bro. You might be in some trouble. You might be in some trouble. I don't know. But there is no ordinary net, my fine feathered X-Men. Its fibers are designed to adhere to anything caught inside. He's right. I'm caught like a fly in flypaper. I thought it would be most appropriate to see the high-flying angel laid low by the winged creatures such as himself. And now, I'd like to introduce you to some other friends of mine, members of the infamous Magia, yeah. So, yeah, all of these supervillains came together under the leadership of Count Nefaria, and because of that, they have unlimited resources, unlimited money, and literally unlimited manpower. It's insane. The pleasure's ours, Angel. The Magia, I thought that crime cartel had been smashed. And even as a second ensnared mutant falls victim to Count Nefaria's costume hirelings, the other 2 X-Men are blissfully unaware of the mounting menace. Who is... Okay, that's... Which one is which? Okay, that's Hank. Okay, that's Hank and Bobby. Okay. How about an after-movie snack, boys? Soda and potato chips? Yes, you talked us into it, Zelda. Meanwhile, I'll tune into some music. A laudable idea, Robert, my lad. There's a Beethoven concert coming on in a few minutes, I believe. That's what I like about you, Hank. You're so refined. You know what? That's what I like about Hank, too. But, you know, he never calls me back, so... Suddenly, as the radio warms up... And according to the latest reports, there have been several additional sightings of X-Men in Central Park. Oh, but that cannot be! I mean, what would the X-Men be doing there? Must be careful so the girls don't guess our secrets. I don't know, Hank, but, what do we care? Yeah, what do you care? We don't, of course. Still, there is news most unnerving, I think. I'd best retire to our hotel and take some tranquilizers. A poor excuse is better than none, Bobby boy. I'll make my excuses to the ladies while I do some investigating as the Beast. Yeah, sure thing, buddy. You're gonna leave him with both of them? Do you know Iceman? Do you know Bobby Drake? Come on. Where's Hank going, Vera? To the moon for all I care. Oh, jeez, I've had a girl tell me that shit. You know what? Female, he's gotta save the world, okay? You can give him a few hours, okay? God. I hate that shit. Oh, going to work again? Yeah, I do that every day. Soon afterwards, a strange figure stalks his prey amid the cages of Central Park Zoo. That's what I'm talking about. The Beast. Stalking Beast. Mwah. That last sighting took place near here, but the zoo is closed for the evening. And why would one of my superpowered associates come here in full costume? They came for the same reason that you did, fool. To be captured. Who is it? Yeah, I am known as The porcupine. Yes, I believe it. Yes, because you see how much danger you're in, Beast? You have no idea. No, seriously, that guy's no joke. He almost killed Ant-Man. Dude, you need to, like, do something. Enough repartee. This nerve gas will steal your prattling tongue. Ah, your voluminous vocabulary is most heartening, my loquacious chum. But your hostile personality is strictly for the birds, so... one blow from my prodigious feet, and I will get the yow. Yes, did you really think you were going to be able to kick the porcupine? Beast, I thought you were smarter than that. These studs on my belt give me complete control over the quills in my special suit, enabling me to fend off your puny attack. Now grovel before me, and perhaps I might spare you. Yes, if you guys remember, the porcupine was a very brilliant military scientist who developed this suit as a way to become basically another super soldier. You know how they are. When it comes to like Ant-Man, it's all about these technological suits. Iron Man, that's basically what he is. He was a military scientist, and he wanted to build a suit that would be able to deal with any problem, any situation, and that's the porcupine suit. It's completely impenetrable. And those little quills, as you can see, they have little gas and little gadgets inside of them. He really is quite formidable. There's no way the Beast can take him, at least not alone. Then, as the agile X-Man lands on his ample hands, you underestimated, my friend. If the noble Beast cannot fight on his feet, he takes to his hands, not his knees. Nice. A simple hypnotic disc to defeat a simple foe. Oh, you called him simple, and you know what? It fucking worked. Look. And momentarily mesmerized by the spinning disc, Hank McCoy is taken prisoner as several sinister forms come out of hiding. Kidnapped by the Mafia. Jesus Christ. He won't break them ropes in a hurry, Porcupine. But why do we have to bother? Why not just bump him off? That I would gladly do, Charles. But Count Nefaria has need of him, and he shall have him. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Meanwhile, worried about what may have befallen his friend Bobby Blake. But no, there's no way. No, he's been Bobby Drake since the beginning. There's no way. That must be just a mistake. Somebody fucked up. Returns to the hotel room him and Hank are sharing. Oh no, I'm sorry, but Mr. McCoy is not called. Oh Jesus, it's up to you, Bobby. You're not the smartest cookie in the crumble, so I don't know. I don't know why I let Beast talk me into staying behind, just to smooth things over with the girls. Now I'm really getting worried about him. I'll see if I can learn anything from the news. But the anxious teenager not ready to hear the news. Oh God! No! Everything is going bad. And only minutes ago, police prowl cars sighted the Iceman moving towards the lake area of the park. Well, that settles it. I was supposed to meet Hank there. And I'm not letting any imposter masquerade as me and get away with it. It's time for the real Iceman to go into action. This vacation was unplanned, so Hank and I decided just to spend the 2 weeks in New York, seeing plays and movies, and of course Zelda and Vera. But now it looks as if vacation time's over, and the human race is already distrustful enough of us mutants. We sure don't need any bad publicity for terrorizing Central Park. Oh man, oh look, there's another one. Who is making all of these images? Who is doing this? Ah, there's the bogus me now, straight ahead. He sees me and he's heading down right by the edge of the lake. Well, at least I'm sure of one thing. It isn't Unis of the Blob, as I had suspected. It could be Unis. But oh, I know who's doing it. I know who's doing it. It's Count Nefaria. It's got to be the Count. Because he does. He has like a duplication machine he uses to mirror heroes. That's one of his big shticks, is that he makes copies of heroes. But as the icy X-Men alights the lake's edge, gone without a trace. This is all the earmarks of the first-rate trap. But if it is, you can bet your booties that the Iceman will end up the trapper. Yeah, it's wishful thinking, you walking popsicle, for you already have been good as caught. What the heck is that? I can't see anybody. Of course not, you frost-covered juvenile delinquent, because I didn't want you to. But now it's time for you to meet the ear. I couldn't see him before, in the darkness, and now he's glowing with electricity. Yes, electricity. He does have electricity powers, if you'll remember. Sorry, but I'm not trembling down to my tippy toes, mister. I've never heard of you before. Still, I don't figure you're from the welcome wagon, so I'll just encase you in ice so we can talk. Oh, yes, yak, yak, yak. You're as bad as the blasted Human Torch. Reference, that's what I'm talking about. But the Torch defeated me because my powers were still new to me. You will have no such luck. He smashed through the ice prison with one electrical jolt. Yes, that is correct. That is what happened right now. Yes, thank you. What happened to your block of ice was nothing, pal, compared to what's going to happen to you. You'll never escape the next electrical blast. He doesn't have electrical powers, by the way. Never say never, Eel. Sooner or later, you'll end up with an egg in your face. Psych, where did you come from? Oh, he got him with the zapped. That was before they realized what his laser beams are. It's just like, just fucking hit him. I've been wandering around in the park for a while, and I saw you and your carbon copy come to Earth. I didn't want to interfere, but I didn't want to risk your getting hurt. Believe me, I wouldn't have had it any other way. But have you seen Beast? He came here earlier. Let's see. No, but I saw Angel and Marvel Girl, or else they're exact twins at this stage. I'm not sure which. Okay, listen, a twig snapping. We're being crotched. Yeah, you're being watched, motherfucker. Listen, you need to do something, Cyclops. You are the leader. You are the tactical genius. You need to figure out what's going on and how to save the X individuals before they die. Watched nothing. Look what just crawled out of the woodwork. It would do more than the pseudo-image of Iceman was netted but one, but two X-Men, and it is only fitting that I should be the one to make the capture. Turn buffoons and meet your master. The eel was not your match, but no man lives that can stand against the uncanny unicorn. Yeah, I see that, because the eel is definitely the weakest of the team, but the unicorn is a heavy hitter. He almost destroyed Iron Man, so, you know. This must be homecoming week for obscure villains. We've never heard of you either. But if it's a fight you want, I am in the mood. Let's go, Psych. Yeah, give him the fight. They don't... Oh, he's got his impenetrable force field. One blast from my eyes ought to put you out of commission. What? The rays are being blocked by some sort of energy field. Precisely, fool. Even the mighty Iron Man could not defeat the unicorn. What chance has a stripling such as you? Issue number 56 of Suspense. Wow, beautiful. But I have played the defender long enough. Now taste the irresistible might of my power horn. No thanks, I'll take your word for it. Okay. I've got to dodge for a moment and then match my beam against his. Ooh, what's gonna happen? So the most dangerous of the X-Men flees my power, but it shall not avail him. This has gone far enough. Hold it right there, Buster. I'm putting that power horn of yours in cold storage. Fuck that. What, you dare? Little does my attacker realize that my helmet developed by my former communist overlords has devices even for such an emergency as this. Thermal units in his headgear? Oh, it's almost like Colosso. It's like you've learned nothing. The professor tried to teach you and you've learned nothing. I've got to keep pouring it on. Just like it did with Colosso. Wrong. Because you forgot about the eel. Oh yeah, careless. I forgot about my own opponent. You can relax now, Unicorn. The eel is back in business. Bobby, he's been stunned into unconsciousness. Oh, wait, that's Cyclops. And even as the youngest mutant falls limply, if you've harmed Iceman, no place on Earth will hide you from my wrath. Save the flowers, flowery speeches for the next superheroes convention, Bright Eyes. It's time for the eel took his natural element, the water. Let the craven eel flee like his slimy namesake. The unicorn shall stand his ground and conquer. You may safely emerge now, my waterlogged wonder. I have finished your hard work for you. I warned you, Unicorn, don't push me too far. That power horn of yours may be stronger than my electric blasts, and it may not. And one of these days we may just have to find... Don't do that, Eel. You're not. You're a spy in a purple jumpsuit. Don't do that. Enough of this Time is too precious to be spent in argument. We must deliver these hapless captives to Count Nefaria. Right, though, I can see why he'd want them. No, I don't see why. Explain. And a short time later, shrouded by the black cloak of night, an unmarked panel truck screeches to a halt in a darkened wharf. It's the unicorn and the eel. We bring two men, Cyclops and Iceman, to be taken aboard the ship. Excellent. The other three are already secured, and all is in readiness for our departure. But hurry, for each second may bring us closer to capture. Bare seconds afterwards, as several hoodlums in the international crime ring known as the Magia carry out their ordered tasks. They're not moving. You are aware that the Count wanted the mutants taken alive. They are alive. We've just stunned them. Also, do not talk heartily to the unicorn, dolt. I serve Count Nefaria for now, but I am no man's slave. Then, slipping unobserved from the enshadowed port, the sinister freighter sails along the coastline of an unsuspecting America, until, in the misty, murky hours of dawn, it arrives in the unassuming building which serves as the camouflaged fortress of Count Nefaria. So, my forces have returned, and with them, according to the radio messages, are the vaunted X-Men. Then the time has come to begin. Exactly 1/2 hour later, 5 uniquely garbed criminals gather ominously about the brooding form of their leader, the infamous Master of Images. This, then, is the band of lieutenants I have chosen to assist me, since I have regained leadership of the Magia. 5 costumed cutthroats, each a supervillain in his own right, who had been defeated in battle and lie low until I located him. And yet none of these masked hirelings may I trust. Each considers himself a potential leader of the Magia, merely waiting for me to make the misstep of fatal error which will give him the chance to seize the reins of power. But I shall not give any of them the opportunity, for there is too much at stake, much more than any of them can dream, for me to show the slightest weakness, the slightest hesitation. Well, I do pay you merely to stand about looking ominous. Tell me the name of your conditions of your prisoner. Marvel Girl is unconscious but safe. Angel captured unharmed. I captured the last, known as the Beast, also intact. Let's see. Cyclops and the Iceman, subdued by the eel, and myself have been stunned into submission. Excellent. If my examination bears you out. What did you say? I made thoroughly clear to you they must be completely unharmed. We believe you will find them so, Count Nefaria. I said only that we had to stun them. Master, the prisoners have been rendered harmless in the dungeon of the fortress and are ready for your inspection. Good. And of their conditions? As for you, Unicorn, you had best hope your captives are in the peak of fighting form for your own sake. Ah, you presume too far, Nefaria. Be warned, my patience is not endless. Oh my gosh. This is not going to end well, man. You can already see the cracks forming. So far as can be ascertained, no permanent damages have been done to any of the mutants. How fortunate for you as well, Unicorn. And well, you may return to your quarters, my faithful lieutenants, while I personally inspect our unwilling guests. You shall be summoned again when you are needed. Thus, I do maintain my position as almost equals. All of them hate me, but they do not trust each other enough to unite to overthrow me. Each of my costume compeers feel as I do, but I shall be the unicorn who will one day soon wrest the scepter of power from Nefaria. But enough of this bitter intellectual byplay for the moment. Meanwhile, let's observe how our mistreated mutants are fearing. God, look at that. Oh, they put a bar around Cyclops. Look at that. I feel as if I've been blasted by my own eye beams. Iceman, how are you? Oh, God. Yeah, they trapped us separately and with the element of surprise on his side. We're all here, son, individually gift-wrapped for a mysterious gentleman known as Count Nefaria. We heard his name mentioned several times in our trip here. Wherever we are, I don't know who he is, but he certainly knows our weaknesses. But why has he trapped us? Is he planning some monstrous crime so that he wants us out of his way? Then the X-Men's gloating captor appears. So these are the dreaded mutants whom the world fears. Perhaps you have been overrated. Could be, mister. Why don't you release us and find out? Yes, I do that. I want to see a fight. Easy, Angel. Let's let him do the talking. A wise suggestion, Cyclops. Truly, there is no reason for us to remain enemies. I, Count Nefaria, am here rather to propose an alliance. You expect us to work with you, you mafia scum? Of course, I mean, you're fucking tied up. What could be more natural? The world desires you as it despises you as it despises the underworld group whom I represent. I offer you the supreme opportunity for revenge. I pause for a reply. Will you join me in restoring the might of the Magia to its former glory? Count, I don't know what you're planning or why you thought we'd go along with you, but I've got a bulletin for you. You're not well. The beast speaks for all of us, Nefaria. So that is your answer. I would have preferred that you join me willingly. However, you leave me no choice. For rest assured, my costume captives, join me you shall. Now I leave you to reconsider your decisions, but ponder these words. In a matter of minutes, I shall do what no man has done before me. I shall steal an entire city, the capital of the United States. That's insane. I mean, we've seen entire cities get stolen before, but not the capital, Washington, D.C. You are mad. Oh my god, that's crazy. Very well then, think me mad for the moment. But what this? I shall ransom the nation's capital for $100 million. That's it? That's it? That's half of what it took to make Joker 2. You will find principled friends will collect it for me. Never. Nothing will ever make the X-Men turn traitorous. We shall see, Angel. We shall see. Then, scant seconds later, and now let the drama begin, for it is far more important for more crucial events than even the X-Men can suspect. What is the dark brooding secret which the villainous Count Nefaria hides, and what is the uncanny uniform and its costume cohorts? You'll learn more about all these and a host of the unusual, magnificent Marvel surprises in X-Men 23. Guess what? It's right here. It's right fucking here. To save a city. Action lovers, this one's for you, and I tend to agree because take a look. Take a gosh darn look. All the fighting, all the action, all 5 of the X-Men versus all 5 of the equipped crime wave. Ah, it's good. I love it. All right. X-Men, the most unusual fighting team of all time to save a city. It's rollicking resume time. But instead of wasting a lot of space in wordy introductions, let's quickly plunge right into it and let the story tell itself. In a few moments, while you are chained here helpless, I shall steal the nation's capital. And just as you X-Men fell before the power of the newly revived Magia, so will all of America soon grovel before the might of Count Nefaria. Join me and share my supreme triumph, for if you do not, I shall be forced ultimately to destroy you. What are you, Nefaria? Some kind of nut? Nobody could possibly capture the entire District of Columbia. Yeah, how is he going to do that? I wonder. Is he going to use his imaging machine? Your superpowered flunkies may have captured us separately, but you'll never get the X-Men to help you in your moronic plot. Who is this Count Nefaria? We've never encountered him before. Where's the... Don't be too certain, Angel. There's something about him that makes me suspect he might be able to carry out his threat. So let him orate away, Cyclops. We're definitely a captive audience. The beast is correct, my friends. Furthermore, you have no choice but to aid me. For whether you do or not, the world will hold you responsible for that, the greatest of crimes. He's going to use his imaging machine to... This is exactly what Count Nefaria did to the Avengers in that one time. I don't know. I'll probably read that book at some point. But yeah, he did this to the Avengers. He trapped them inside of his evil castle, and then he framed them for a giant crime. It was terrible. So that's your angle, to force us to help you. That still doesn't explain how you intend to capture Washington, the most carefully guarded city on Earth. I choose to reveal no more at this time, but rest assured the menace is a very real one. Refuse to serve me, and not only will 1 million persons be doomed, but most ironic of all, you shall be blamed for it, my hands will be clean. And now I leave you to decide. I shall return in 1 hour. That sanguinary little scene should bring all delinquent Marvelites up to date as painlessly as possible. And now, to the present. Let the drama begin. The world shall soon know the irresistible power of Count Nefaria. First, the nation's capital must be sealed off from all outside influences. Then, as the Count manipulates the controls of his awesome invention, the citizens of Washington are suddenly startled to behold. What's this? It cannot be snow? No, it's countless glowing particles crystallizing in the air. It's a dome! How did I know? How did I know there was going to be a dome? Gosh darn it. There is no answer except silence as the luminescent fragments combine to form a solid encompassing dome about the entire city. Holy Hannah, where did that thing come from? That's his imaging machine, man. That's the power that the Maggio holds. Your guess is as good as mine. It appears just as we were in for a landing. Nobody can get through from either side. It's some new plan to make Washington attack-proof? Negative, sir. Inside the transparent prison. Look, officer, if this is some kind of alert, how long is it gonna last? This truck is loaded down with perishable goods. If this is just a test, Mac, I don't know any more about it than you do. And don't I wish I did. The cars are backed up for miles already. Meanwhile, in the Capitol building, America's lawmakers have much more on their minds than the traffic. Well, I don't like it. The president assured us that the dome's not of our making. I wonder, could it be theirs? The Soviets? We must get to the bottom of this and fast. I'm calling the Pentagon. But even as the senator dials, both the civil and military authorities are already on the spot. And I might as well be swinging a strand of spaghetti as this axe, yeah. No go, the pneumatic drill will cut diamond, but it won't even dent this stuff. What is it? Come on. All right, man, that's enough. We'll have to blast our way in. Okay, we've struck out again. What's it made of anyway? General, I've got a hunch that nothing short of an A-bomb is going to smash through that barrier. What's it made out of? Is that Thunderbolt Ross? Look at it. He looks like him. But we dare not use nuclear weapons without knowing just how strong the dome is. Otherwise, the loss in life and property could be staggering. Then what is there left that we can do, General? We can't do anything except sit and wait. I suspect that whoever constructed this device will get in touch with us. I have given Washington and the nation long enough to determine that nothing they do will rid them of my crystalline dome. And now it's time to present my demands. For in so doing, I shall force the X-Men to become my allies in this most daring of all crimes. Okay, bare seconds later, on the steps of the Capitol, a most unusual scene is enacted. Okay. Yeah, you see, he's imaging the X-Men. Stand aside, guards. We've come about the shield which covers the city. The X-Men. There's a special committee reading now about that right now. After seeing you battle the Sentinels, I have a hunch if anyone can lick this thing, it's you. Then there is a mind-staggering ultimatum. We are responsible for your imprisonment. You will issue to us certificates worth $100 million at once. Otherwise, within 3 hours, the crystals of the dome will absorb all oxygen inside it and you will all die. What are you, X-Men? Are you mad? We're only one committee. We'd have to call a special session of the entire Congress. Yeah, do that, I guess. Then call it. Remember, you have 3 hours. One of the X-Men will pick it up from your representative at the Capitol steps. Have the money there or suffer the consequences. Now, goodbye. Oh, if you think we're bluffing, just try us. They are bluffing. Grab them! Hey, they vanished, all 5 of them. Is that one of their mutant powers too? Oh, Jesus. Mutant abilities, anything is possible. After all, they ain't really human. But what worries me is what'll happen to all of us if Congress turns down their demand. In the meantime, what about our real muchly mistreated mutants? Let's not forget about them. We've got to get free somehow. Hold on to your goggles, psych. Okay, Marvel Girl is giving Hank's cuffs a go telekinetically. Yeah, can't she just telekinetically unlock them? I hope she succeeds. They're too strong for my ice powers to affect. How? No, shut up. I realize this is hardly the appropriate time, but this tickles. That's fucking hilarious. Quiet! All of you! I've got to have complete concentration! Oh, any luck? Negative. Whoever designed these shackles did so with me in mind. They're too complicated for me to undo without first having studied the locks. If only we could manage to mentally contact the professor. But why can't the fettered crime fighters contact their leader telepathically? We were hoping you'd ask. Oh yes, I'm almost glad my X-Men are having a vacation. You idiot! You don't realize? Can't you, like, literally contact any mutant in the world from is Cerebro even around now? That would be an interesting fact to look up. What's the first appearance of Cerebro? For this new invention I'm perfecting is important. I must give it my undivided attention. Is Cerebro the new thing you're building? It better be. That noise. Yes, I've mentally sealed off my brain so that while I'm working, even the X-Men can't contact me. But I forgot about such a mundane thing as a telephone. Hello, General. As a matter of fact, I haven't been listening to the radio. What? An emergency regarding the X-Men? Yes, of course I'll meet with you within an hour. That was General Fredericks, with whom I worked as a civilian advisor when we defeated the Sentinels. He says that the X-Men are threatening the nation's capital and hopes that I can be of some assistance in combating them. His story is fantastic, but he can't be lying. I must contact my students. Attention, X-Men. Wherever you are, contact me at once. Do you read me? No answer with my first try. They must be some distance away, but I will reach them. I must. Meanwhile, in Nefaria's hideout. You guys are just fucked. Just stop. Come on. Don't give up, Marvel Girl. I've got an idea. If only you could bypass the metal band on my head and open my visor slightly, my powerful eye beams would free us. Oh, yeah, that's smart. Yeah, okay, cool. That did it. You managed to pry it open just enough so that my energy beam from my eyes forced it. I'll turn the beam on my own bonds and free the rest of us. Okay, alright, cool. So here we go. We're fighting back now, okay. Okay, that's more like it. Now let's tackle Nefaria and those creeps who captured us. Okay. What could the account have meant when he said he would have to join him? We can't be sure, Gene. Well, I happen to know what he meant, and he meant business. My guess is that he's in the process of framing us for whatever colossal crime he's committed, figuring that as outcasts, we will have no one to turn to but him. Okay, hold still, Hank. And many thanks, loquacious leader, but why must the long-suffering beast always be left to last? C'est la vie, as they say. Now comes the good part. Wait till I put the ice-cold kibosh on that slippery eel. That's what I want to see. I want to see the X-Men fighting the crime wave. Wait, Bobby. Listen, all of you. We're being contacted mentally by the Professor. Attention, X-Men. This is Professor Xavier. I have just probed your location telepathically, and I'm ready with your instructions. Their instructions? Don't you mean your instructions? Shouldn't you be helping them? They've done it. They've agreed to my terms. The Senate has just voted a special appropriation to be picked up by the X-Men at the expiration of the 3-hour period. That's fine and dandy with us, Nefaria. Our only question is what our percentage of the take is. Oof. Bobby with the verbal slapping. Never mind that, Count. Let's just say we wised up and let it go at that. After all, as you said, the humans hate us. Why shouldn't we get revenge on them and make money at the same time? So it's a catch-22. They're doing a double take. A most sagacious decision, my friend. But let me warn you one small detail. I have designed my crystalline dome in such a way that only I can manipulate the dials to dissipate it. If anyone else tries, we will bring total annihilation to your capital. Remember that, in case you harbor any foolish conceptions about deceiving me. I am Count Nefaria. Then, after the Count explains his schemes, into this truck. It will take you to a location where you can enter the trapped city. Yes, Nefaria is so confident. I hope the professor knows what he is doing. Driven to the scene in a common milk truck. Ah! Nice. I mean, milk. That's my favorite thing to drink. Milk. A little protein, lots of calcium. It's great. Ready with Plan C. Commence now. Okay, instantly from another part of the Count's innocent-looking headquarters, a second vehicle departs at top speed. Okay, what's the plan? As the passing the bogus milk truck, it deposits its unsavory passengers at the outer rim of the dome before the X-Men arrive. So it is agreed. We shall serve Count Nefaria no more. Oh, it's a coup. Oh my god, it's a coup and a double cross. It's a a quadruple cross. That is hilarious. My god, I feel almost bad for Count Nefaria. That fool. He has sent us to watch the X-Men to be certain that they do not attempt any trickery. Even he does not suspect that we, his lieutenants in the new Magia, intend to seize the $100 million for ourselves. But now, out of sight, the mutants will be here any minute. Don't be too fast to order us around, Unicorn. Remember, you are only our provisional leader. Plantman speaks the truth, for if your plan fails, then one of us becomes the leader, and I know which one I would vote for. Himself? He's gonna vote for himself? Meanwhile, just as things really get complicated, Professor X arrives just outside of Washington. Oh, dude, it's all falling apart, man. And that's the story, Xavier. We were hoping that you, as an acknowledged expert on mutants, would tell us how they might have created that infernal dome. If only he realized why I'm an expert on mutants. Oh, I'll do all I can, General. But are you certain that the X-Men are behind this? Could someone be framing them? Framing them? The radio reports coming out of Washington verified that those blasted mutants walked right into the Capitol and demanded we ransom the city. Or else. I know from my preliminary mental probings that these were only images created by Count Nefaria, but I can't prove it for now. Well, I'm sorry, General. You're right, of course, but you'll just give me a few minutes to do some thinking on the matter. All right, but think fast. If those mutants can seize the nation's capital, then no place on Earth is safe from them. I hated to disappoint the General's faith in me, but I had to get him to leave me alone for a while. Look at that, Bill. Our mutant expert, he's gone to sleep. Too much excitement, I guess. What is he? He's astral image projecting. Ooh, look at that. That is cool. God, I love that power. It is only in this form in which I have no solid substance that I can know anything like the thrill of walking again. So you can basically walk. You just walk astrally. But no time to think of that now. I'm approaching Count Nefaria's stronghold. How he knows where it is. Oh. He's tracking the X-Men. The X-Men are no longer in their emanations remain, so I know that this is the place where I contacted them earlier, and that must be Nefaria himself. I cannot physically act while I am in my astral body, but I can observe and learn. Ah yes, the panel truck carries the X-Men past the final unsuspecting soldiers. At last my months of planning begin to bear fruit. Now to create a momentary opening in the dome through which the mutants can pass to collect the ransom. With the money, I shall return to my castle in Central Europe. There I will rebuild the Magia into the most powerful criminal organization on Earth. Then I shall deal in billions, not millions. Okay, that makes sense, because he needs, yeah. The Magia were destroyed. He needs to bring them back. He needs money. Okay, makes sense. The plan makes sense. Well, here we are, but where's the entrance to the dome that Nefaria promised us? Don't worry, Angel. If he created the dome, I'm sure he can control it. Oh, yes, something is happening. And so often in the past, Bobby, you've put your frostbitten finger right on the crux of the matter. Something is happening indeed. Okay, you could have got rid of that entire bubble. You could have cut out half the dialogue in this story. It would have been fine. A small hole suddenly appeared just big enough for all of us to pass through, yes. As the reluctant renegades raced through the outskirts of the city, they paid no attention as their progress is clearly monitored. Wait a minute. I thought the idea was that everybody was running out of air. If there's now a hole in the barrier, doesn't that mean that air is rushing in? So everyone's safe, right? Baker to Able, X-Men now passing point Y on schedule, headed towards Capitol building. This way, my costume compeers let the bounding beast's infallible sense of direction lead the way. They would be considerably more upset, however, if they knew of 5 more sinister pairs of eyes that game upon them greedily. When do we make our move, Unicorn? Should we follow them to the capital? Patience, you overgrown weed. There is no need for such haste. Yes, let the X-Men do our dirty work for us. What dirty work? And then we'll step in and relieve them of the money. And the best of all, it is they who will be sought by the police, not we. A few brief minutes later, on the steps of the building in which America's laws are enacted, these special large denomination certificates are redeemable in the... Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Is that you're gonna pay him in large denomination certificates are redeemable in gold anywhere in the world? Dude, you could have set a trap, you idiot. Are you kidding me? Alright, sorry I'm late, Congressman. Strategy conference, you know. I'll just relieve you of this little briefcase if you don't mind. No need to fly any evasion course. This part of the job is a breeze. Yeah, alright. Shoot him down! Congressman, I'll bring him down. No, don't blast him. No wonder why people hate the X-Men. Look at them, they're a bunch of criminals. Gosh darn it. Friggin' evil. Alright, now head back to the perimeter of the city. So far everything is according to schedule. Still, I wish the professor were here. Look at them, Robin. Call him Robin Hood because they're robbing people. I'm sure he's keeping tabs on us mentally, Gene. Besides, let's show him what we can do on our own. You can rob the nation on your own. That's what you're doing. You can say that again, Hank. Look up ahead. Some of the populace has turned out to greet us, and they've turned tail. So it's like, this is really them. This isn't just like an image. This is them literally going out to steal Count Nefaria's money. And I'll bet they're not here to give us the keys to the city. Yeah, you guys actually deserve it this time. Look, oh my god. With the bricks. Get it. But you did it. You committed the crime. So no, it's not prejudice this time because you actually are bad guys. You didn't have to do it. It's stupid. Alright. Alright, it's times like this where I'm really glad I have wings. But over there, a bunch of them, have Hank surround me. Okay, well, that's because you guys have robbed the Capitol. Look at, oh shit, he's climbing that giant needle thing. That what is that thing called? I don't know. The giant, I don't know, America's Wang, is that what it's called? I don't know. The Washington Monument, there it is, right in front of me, I'm an idiot. On careful reconsideration, Warren, perhaps I'd best accept your generous offer after all. It just so happens I am, Beast, but what about the others? I can't carry them all at once. Finally, back to the Unicorn. No wonder those mutants masqueraders haven't arrived back at the dome yet. Some panicky citizens are attacking them. Ah, yes, we must aid them so that we can relieve them of that briefcase quickly. And so, oh, the crows! The crows are back! It's always the crows, my god. Guys, the freaking crows are hilarious. I freaking love it. It's insane. To the rescue, my pretties. Think of all the bird seed that your share of the loot will buy. Alfred Hitchcock has nothing on the scarecrow yet. No, you don't. No, you don't. This is more terrifying than the birds. Very clever, my straw-stuffed associate, but the porcupine has even more effective ways of dealing with intruders. It's crazy, dude. I thought that they would fight the X-Men. I never thought that they would team up to rob the nation's capital. You're both being too gentle with them. Let the ill show you how it's done. Of course, the fools think we'd let your fellow mutants fall before mere Homo sapiens. How beautifully ironic that the X-Men would be responsible even for our acts. For unlike them, we've no scruples against harming people. Alright, now that each of you has had his little fun, it's time for the Plant Man to step in and finish up this little melodrama. These leafy friends of mine ought to take some of the fight out of our attackers. How can we fight somebody that makes trees come to life? I don't fucking know, dude. That shit is crazy, man. If I was walking through the park and trees started swiping at me, I'd probably run too. Ah, let them go. We have wasted enough time on them. Our business is with the X-Men and the briefcase. Okay. X-Men, this way. Count Nefaria is opening an escape hatch for us. Hurry, before it closes again and we're trapped in here. Are they gonna do it? Any port in a storm, Iceman, but keep your guard up. I've got a hunch we may be in for trouble. The next moment, as 10 fleet forms plunge swiftly through the opening, we've made it and it's closing behind us. And now, Cyclops, I'll take the pouch if you don't mind. Count Nefaria sent us to pick it up for him. Sorry, Unicorn, but we're delivering this little bundle to the Count personally. If he had wanted you to have it, he'd have told us. Blast you! You've had your chance to surrender the money peacefully. Now you must suffer the consequences. Oh my god, there is no winners here, dude. You guys are just fighting over money at this point. It looks as if these costume clowns are planning a king-size double cross, and we're forced to help Nefaria. It's a stalemate, Horntop. Your rain beam against mine. Look at that. They're like zapping each other in like a mega zap. Prepare for the moment, but there are other ways. Oh, Jesus. Eel, you go get them. Yeah, dude, send the eel. Beast, catch this! And run while I keep the unicorn busy. Not so fast, my ape-like friend, but I have to touch the studs on my weapons belt, and this liquid cement will stop you in your tracks. Oh, you know, I may just have a point there. I was moving too fast. I can't reverse in time to avoid getting splattered with the glue. Have no fear, Beastie. Iceman is here. What? An icy shield blocking my cement. For many thanks for your timely assistance, lad. Still, if you won't take offense to a friendly suggestion, your attempts at rhymed repartees still leave much to be desired. Well, you two prattle on. I'll get to the root of the problem and that briefcase as well. Ignominious! Trapped up into the accompaniment of a pun yet. Wait, what was the pun? Oh, to the root of the problem. Okay. Don't let it worry you, beast. The flying part of our little team will take over now. There aren't any plants in the sky to get in my way. It's funny, $100 million in certificates inside a pouch, and we toss it back and forth like a ping pong ball. Oh yes, you guys are all idiots. Every single one of you, you're all idiots. It was overconfident as usual. And the crows, the freaking crow. Dude, it's a bird, man. It's a freaking bird. They're just birds. They're just birds. Why are they so tough? In the Marvel universe, they're so tough. It's like Thanos, you know, Thanos is coming down, and just imagine like a flock of crows just taking him out. Imagine Thanos like, ah. Being attacked from all sides, I can't hold the money. Ha, such a pity, my feathered friend, but I'll take care of it for you. Ha, very kind of you, Scarecrow. However, I think I might be the wiser if I just guide it to myself telekinetically, don't you agree? Another one! Don't you costume juvenile delinquents ever give up? They don't have us. They don't have to, Strawface. Not as long as the eel is around to defeat them. Yes, the dazzling lights. That is what the eel does. I make it a point never to harm a lady, at least not as long as blinding flashes of electricity will accomplish the same ends. So I'll just take that pouch and... Unicorn, what are you doing? Oh, you are the all fool's eel. Did you think that I intended to share this prize with the likes of you? But since you helped me attain it, I shall merely stun you into unconsciousness. And some miles away, observing his henchman's avaricious actions in a somewhat less than ecstatic Count Nefaria. So he thinks he can be thus trifled with, does he? He shall pay for his treachery. The X-Men and the squadron of army tanks suddenly appearing out of the fog bank. Look here, you're surrounded. Why not simply relinquish that briefcase before we can settle this matter? However, not so long as my power horn has energy to destroy the accursed tanks. Oh, they're fake. They're fucking fake, dude. Those aren't real tanks. Oh yes, they fade away as my beam touches them. They are only images created by Nefaria the Confoundable. Then, before the startled eyes of the teenage heroes, I'll never catch him with that speed. He'll be out of sight in seconds. But we can't quit. You're right, Bobby. Let's go. Are you kidding? You can fly. Just fucking catch him. We'll return to our quandary-struck Quentin in a few panels. But first, let's see how Professor X has been sending these first frantic minutes. It's been 3 hours, General, and the city is still unharmed. I suspect as much. The whole thing was a fraud dreamt up by the mutants to rob us. Don't be so sure, General. Well, I'm sorry, Professor, but I've got no time to grab with you now. I'm going to order the X-Men to be shot on sight. Then you won't be needing my services any longer. I guess I'll be going. You're just gonna leave like that? Tell me you got an ace, Professor X. Tell me. Here is your key, sir. Isn't it terrible about the city being encased and all? Oh, yes, quite now, if you'll excuse me. I've got to go save the fucking world. I'd appreciate if your man would wheel me to my room at once. I'm really very exhausted. Ha! What a cold fish. 750,000 people in mortal danger, and all he wants to do is sleep. And now you see, we told you we'd pick up on the action. Yeah, you did. Thanks, I guess. You could have just cut. You could have just cut to the next scene. You didn't have to. What? Again, the army appears on the scene before I have gone 100 yards in the air. Does Nefaria think I am a fool to be deceived twice by his subterfuge? Oh, let me guess. This time it's real. It must be one of the mutants. He has a briefcase. Fire at will. Oh, I should have known. This time the armored unit was real. My energy field protected me, but I lost the bouts and the concussion. Oh yeah, from the concussions. I don't get it, Captain. It looks like they're fighting amongst themselves. You didn't enlist to understand, Corporal. Just ducking that tank and fire. Oh gosh. Nope. Sorry, dog faces. You're up to target practice, but not when we are the target. Yeah, alright. There, Iceman for the save. Great going, Iceman. Meanwhile, I'll handle these lads in my own indomitable style. What's wrong, boys? A fella think you never saw a white-feathered crime buster before. They don't. You're the only one. So, yeah. Ooh, dang it. Look at Beast's giant feet. Can you imagine giant feet to the face? It gives me a quick to hear you thus disparage my avian associate. Yeah, shut up. Just everybody shut up. Meanwhile, not far away from Scott Summers, he reaches the side of Marvel Girl. Are they going to have their first kiss? Take the briefcase to the rendezvous point, Jean. I'll stay here and help the others. I don't like to leave you and the rest of the X-Men, but I know I must. However, unknown to the grim Cyclops, a second group of ground troops is approaching the area, battle from behind. Look, Cyclops is giving money to the girl. Let's go get it. Okay, man, our orders are to capture the X-Men, dead or alive. Those costume cook-ups ahead aren't them, but they sure aren't just here to take the scenery. Oh my God, is it gonna be bad? Oh, look at them, they're all getting arrested. Use your powers. And amply warned as they are, the costume cooks prove to have easier to have than hold. Oh God, he's trying to. That's fucking hilarious. Look at that. With the crows. Again with the crows. You're taking on the army? Watch it, you guys. The edge of the buzzard's quills are razor sharp. Oh, Jesus. Just thinking about it is like, Jesus Christ. Okay. Look, the soldiers momentarily overlooked me because of my camouflaging outfit. That gives me just the time I need to grow my own army. Is he there? Well, he could be one of these trees. You never know. Precisely 10 seconds later, a jungle is appearing out of nowhere? Get back inside the tank. We'll have to fight our way out of this stuff. Well done, Plant Man. Those weeds you enlarged and brought to life will keep them busy while we escape. But the X-Men have escaped with the loot. Of course, besides we have committed no real crime here. And what happened to the unicorn, I say? Well, we're about to find out. The Marvelites, we hope you enjoyed our little Sunday romp with the Nefaria's masquerading minions, because that's all you're going to see of them for now anyway. That's true. They're all gone. They're all gone. They all got away with it. None of them. None of the supervillains that we've been learning about this past week are going to be captured. They all get away with their crimes. I knew you guys would love that shit. There goes our truck back to Nefaria's hideout. It looks like the Count lost interest in us. Now that he has $100 million, he can afford to make one half of Joker 2. That monster. Either way, it would appear that we have to hoof it back. And while we're tying up loose ends, let's not forget the uncanny unicorn. He's still in the vicinity. Luckily I fell into these bushes when I was caught off guard by the exploding shell. I haven't much power left in my rocket-soldered shoes, but I'd better lie low until the troops have left the area. And at that moment, several miles from Washington, any minute now, the truck will return bringing me the infinite wealth I need. Then, when I use that money to reestablish the Maggia, the world will know the greatest crime wave in its history. But even as the confident Count speaks, a new element enters the fateful game, an element whose existence he has not suspected. Alright, Buster, where do you think you're going? Nobody gets through this gate. Step aside, underlings. I have no wish to harm you, but I have business with the master, the one who dwells inside. This is just a warehouse, buddy. Nobody lives here. Hey, I can't move. And in another second, neither of you will be able to talk as well. As I said, I am here to see your boss, and I have no desire to see him forewarned. Then, without a further word, the mysterious figure moves on, leaving behind him two forms, silent, unmoving. As elsewhere in the distinguished headquarters of Count Nefaria, it has arrived. Soon all the power, all the glory of which I shall have longed shall be mine. Okay, I brought you the special certificates, Counts. They're inside the briefcase. Oh, Marvel Girl, what's gonna happen? I really want to know. I know I've monitored your movements on my view screen. Give it to me. I have striven long, planned carefully for this moment. Not so fast, Nefaria. First, you must remove your crystalline dome from Washington. Only then will I hand over the briefcase. She is using her mutant telekinetic powers to hold me back. You wronged me, Marvel Girl. Count Nefaria is a man who keeps his bargains. Naturally, I adjusted the machine so that the elements in the dome did not destroy the city's oxygen. But before you arrived, I arranged that the oxygen-depleting particles would be reactivated within 5 days. Shut up! Just shut up and just do the thing. Unless I press the proper buttons at once. So delay no further. Place the pouch on the table, or America becomes a nation with an uninhabited capital. Alright. At last I have it. Enough money to finance my wildest dreams. His dream of making half of the Joker 2. Soon my small European nation will become the center of the new Maggia, a world capital of crime. Oh my god, that's crazy. Without a word, the ominous commanding figure strides across the room. Who? That man. He's manipulating the controls of my dome projector as if he had designed them. But no human being could do such a thing. They are too intricate, too delicate. Then, as the surprised Marvel Girl's mental prowess holds the enraged Kingpin of crime at bay, the newcomer continues to pull switch after switch until the fantastic apparatus... Stop. You can't. You are ruining the ultra-sensitive printed circuits of the machine, destroying the crowning achievement of a lifetime. This invention is a monument of evil. It must not and shall not endure. Okay, before Jean Grey gives a little utterance, everybody comes in. Everybody's gonna show up at once? Oh my god. Thank the star she is unharmed if anything had happened to her. But where is Count Nefaria and the pouch with the certificates? It's right here, but they're gone. The Count must have grabbed the money and fled. All of our work for nothing. No, Angel, not for nothing. Count Nefaria just boarded his ship down below, and it's starting to pull away from the docks. But there is no need for you to concern yourself with him for now. Mister, I don't mean to be rude, but who the hell are you? No, wait, Warren, don't you recognize him? Look, in the harbor. The one known as the Unicorn, the most dangerous of Nefaria's cronies. Okay. Gazing across the ever-widening distance between themselves and the Count's vessels, the astonished mutants see. It's the Unicorn, all right. You just said that. Oh, all right. Okay. The ship will not reach international waters, I promise you that. The masked figure is Professor X. Okay. For months, I have been secretly working on a lightweight, flexible metal bracers for my legs, and at last I have nearly perfected them. This transistorized power source hooked onto my belt is all that I need to operate them for several hours at a time. Yes, but what about Nefaria and the Unicorn? Shouldn't we catch up with them and recover the $100 million? Well, that would be most laudable suggestion, Bobby, if they had the money. What do you mean? No, if you'll merely glance under the table, you'll see the briefcase. Then Nefaria got away empty-handed. No, not exactly. Oh, $100 million wealth beyond imagining, most mortals. But there will be more ingenious crimes, more riches than anyone has ever possessed. This is only the beginning. But you are mistaken, Count. This is the end of your career. For though my power horn is exhausted, I still possess the strength to wrest that pouch from you. No, Unicorn, don't! We have no need for strife. Before us is treasure enough for 1,000 men. Wait, what witchcraft is this? Oh, the briefcase is fading from sight, and with it our dreams of wealth and power. Somehow, in some way, the X-Men tricked us. Then, back at Majia's abandoned headquarters, at about this time, Nefaria and the Unicorn should be discovering that I used the Count's own machine against them, creating a mental image of the coveted briefcase. In addition, I alerted the Coast Guard, which should have them safely in tow within about 5 minutes. Ah, yes, now perhaps the Gandar will stop accosting us for their crimes. Meanwhile, Jean, this letter arrived for you this morning. For me? Oh god, here's the after credits scene. Then, as the feminine member of the unique team opens the envelope and begins to read, a strange hush falls over the mutant superheroes. Jean, is something wrong? Is there anything that we can do? No, Warren, there's nothing. If it's trouble, let us share it. No, Scott, it's Jean who must decide if we can help her, not we ourselves. It's all right, Professor. It isn't something I can hide for long, much as I might wish to. Tomorrow I must leave the X-Men forever. Will she? Won't she? I don't care. That's the end of the story. And in the next issue, they're fighting the Locust or whatever. I've never even heard of that guy. He looks quite ominous. But yeah, geez, an hour and 30 minutes. An hour and 30 minutes to get through this one. That was epic. It had everything. It had everything I wanted. Every character was represented. All of their powers were represented. All of the villains were represented. All of the villain powers were represented. And in case you guys didn't realize, I'll be brief in saying this. Yeah, they all got away. They all got away. Except for Count Nefaria and the Unicorn, both of which can quite easily escape prison. But the other four, the Porcupine, the Eel, the Scarecrow, and what's the other fucking guy? The Plant Man. All four of them got away. And you know what that means? That means this isn't over. It's not over. There's still more of these characters that we're going to explore. And believe it or not, there is another time in which they all team up for not one but 2 crime waves. Yes, there is a second crime wave coming, but I'm not going to cover that yet. I'll do that in November, because right now that's the end of this for now. Next up, I'm going to read some scary Halloween stories for Halloween to finish out the month of October. I have some wonderful Halloween stories that I want to share with you guys. But then we will get right back to this shit in November. So stay tuned for that. And stay tuned. I have 3 Halloween episodes that are going to be coming in the next few days. But for now, I am freaking tired. I need a day off. So I'm going to go take a day off. That's it for this comic book. Stay tuned for the next ones and stay tuned for Halloween issues. Until next time, nerds, stay heroic.